Hi, I'm Alex.
My name is Sergey. We talk about table tennis.
We are Table Tennis 11. And today, again, we are testing rubbers. This time we are going for sticky rubbers. We have received many comments asking us to test sticky rubbers, and we like ourselves sticky rubbers, so it's interesting to find the difference between rubbers made in Germany, rubbers made in China, rubbers made in Japan. So today we plan to test 4 sticky rubbers, which are Dignics Bluegrip C2, Rakza Z or Rakza Z, depending where I'm from. This is our favorite classical Neo Hurricane 3 and Butterfly Dignics 09C.
From my point of view, Chinese sticky rubbers are dominating table tennis since long time ago. If we take a look at Chinese national team, both on men and women's side, everyone is using sticky rubber. And for me, it is a big surprise why it has taken so long time to come with alternative products from other brands. There are a lot of discussions between coaches and players if European players can use sticky rubbers type Hurricane 3. And it was a lot of doubts that the technique should be different, and if you play for a long time with European or Japanese rubbers, it is impossible to switch to Chinese sticky rubbers. I think now with modern table tennis, modern plastic ball, there is no choice. So more and more top players, they change to sticky rubbers, and there is no alternative very often. So we hear that or another player, they prefer sticky rubber from own brand or from Double Happiness brand.
Also Chinese players, quite often they start playing backhand with sticky rubbers.
Yes, before it was like idea or like myth that it's not possible to play with Chinese sticky rubbers. They are too hard and it's very difficult to play with the backhand.
The structure of the movement doesn't allow to play so powerful that you can use sticky rubber. But today we see that more and more strong players are playing sticky rubbers on their backhands and quite successful also.
Yeah, I think it's much easier to perform this backhand flick with the sticky rubber, which is so popular today. So,
but you personally also play backhand, sticky rubber on your backhand?
Yes, and for me, I play Hurricane 3, that or another type, but I think for me it's the best choice.
So maybe also a few words why these 4.
Yeah.
We of course cannot test sticky rubbers without having Hurricane 3 Neo. This is like the first choice, most popular sticky rubber, definitely. Yeah.
Maybe not everybody knows, but I think the whole Chinese national team, they use this rubber in different thickness with different sponge color, but it's absolutely #1 rubber among sticky rubbers.
Butterfly Dignics 09C, there were a lot of talks, and also considering the price of this rubber, it really makes a lot of noise on the market among table tennis players. So this is natural choice that we need to test it.
Yeah, and we hear more and more that this rubber is replacing Tenergy 05, which was like the best rubber on butterfly side.
Yeah, most popular butterfly rubber.
Yeah.
Then we took 2 more rubbers made in Germany. One is Rakza Z and another is Bluegrip C2, which are very popular, and we were asked to use these rubbers while testing from many players.
Many players, and we have heard that also Dignics contract players, top players, they use Bluegrip C2, and we think this is good rubber to try. And of course, to test the rubber we need the blade, and we use the same blade, so it would be easier to compare and we get used to it. It's very easy for us to feel the difference. This is Neotech Voodoo classic blade.
If you are the first time with us, we need to say that this is classical all-wood 5-ply offensive blade with quite a softer feeling.
Yeah, with a lot of control.
Now we unpack, measure the hardness of the sponge and start testing. As always, when testing offensive material, offensive rubbers or offensive blades, I feel like I am in somebody's shoes. I am pure defensive player, using from time to time top spins and counter spins. So I am trying always to see the situation from 2 points. First, if I change my style to attack, could I use this or that rubber? And second, if it's possible to use this rubber for defensive game. Hurricane 3 Neo. I expected it would be my best rubber during this testing, because I am playing with almost the same rubber on my forehand side. But the keyword is almost.
Я играю как своей накладкой, так удобно. Вот чуть добавляю, она...
As a matter of fact, I have normal version of Hurricane, not Neo, and produced for Japanese market. I use this rubber not because of a special quality, but because of the sponge thickness. Only in this version 1.8 mm sponge is available. So the feeling was not exactly the same. It was quite difficult to play defensive cut, but also for top spins it requires more skill than I have. Rakza Z seemed to me very balanced rubber for attack. If I really want to change for attacking style, I definitely take Rakza Z out of this 4. It was easier to play with it, and even the defense strokes was surprisingly easy to perform. I can recommend this rubber if you like somehow to find a good compromise between defense and attack. So for modern defensive player, I think Rakza Z is a good choice. Bluegrip C2. In some extent, it's similar to Rakza. I feel that the production is the same, but difference is still quite noticeable. It's more heavy and have a big speed potential, so it's more powerful rubber, but at the same time being slightly sticky makes it generally a bit controversial rubber, I would say. I can expect it could be a good rubber for top players, definitely not for me. For me it's like very heavy weapon and I'm not good enough for this rubber. Dignics 09C. I have expected it to be quite fast and aggressive type of rubber. Surprisingly, it was not so extreme and quite easy to control, but shot game and service receive was really a problem. For top spins, especially from the distance, it seems to me quite powerful but not extreme, so I would say this is a good rubber for my level but not for top player.
So the first rubber we have tested is Rakza Z, the most ambiguous rubber for me, because on the one hand you can see how well it sticks the ball when you are taking it from the table, but on the other hand it's the regular rubber with catapult effect, so it does not differ much from any other tensor rubbers. In my opinion, this rubber will suit the players who are searching for the same rubber with the catapult effect, but slightly more sticky surface, which will allow them to do some harder service or will make it easier to receive a service. Now I'm moving towards the absolute winner in the price category. This is the Dignics 09C. You can see that it is not sticking the ball by its surface at all, but the throwing effect is rather strong. It throws the balls unbelievably strongly and makes it very hard to play feeling-relying shots, such as flips. Also, it's very difficult to counter-attack close to the table. It's also rather difficult to serve short and leave the ball short on the table. But the rubber shows its potential when you are playing away from the table, especially in the counter spins and maybe in fishing as well. So the sum up for this rubber is unbelievable amount of money for the average rubber. Now I move to the Hurricane 3, the rubber that we tested others against, and this rubber is simply the best of all we have compared today, in my opinion. It's the best in control and spin, very easy to serve and receive with this rubber. And it's still the best among others if you consider the power in the topspin. The last rubber we have tested was Bluegrip C2. This one is the best copy of the Hurricane 3, in my opinion. I would like to say that all the rubbers that we have compared are trying somehow to copy or to get as close as possible to the Hurricane 3, as that is the leader on the market of China, and every Chinese national team player uses this rubber on the forehand or on both sides. And the Bluegrip C2 moved as close as possible, in my opinion, to that one. The sponge is rather hard and the top sheet is not too sticky, but sticky enough. So more or less the rubber has a pleasant feeling, and it is easy to move all kind of blocks with it, from aggressive to passive, and quite an interesting rubber, I would say.
We took a look at stickiness of the rubbers and we saw that two of them were very sticky, like Rakza Z and Hurricane 3 Neo, and two others were not that sticky, like Dignics 09C and Dignics Bluegrip C2. And I think this stickiness also separates them in our test. Rakza Z from the beginning didn't make any impression, so it was the feeling it was quite dull and not very pin-oriented rubber. But after testing it more, I think it is the rubber which is the closest to Hurricane 3 Neo. Rakza Z is well-balanced rubber, so you can play all different shots with it. Playing shot, serve and block, and you feel no problem to do any kind of shot. Dignics 09C, it has this springy sponge. This springy sponge creates for me a problem because it also springs when you make slide shots like shot or you serve. And then comparing to Hurricane 3 Neo, it is the opposite way around. So Hurricane 3 Neo plays the ball easy when you play easy, and if you give power, it gives a lot of power to the ball. So with 09C, I have a problem to play short balls or to serve short. This is what creates a problem for me to choose this rubber. Also, I have a feeling with Dignics rubber, as with other Dignics rubbers too, like 05, that for top players some booster should be used to activate the power. Otherwise, it is just an average rubber giving average power. Bluegrip C2. I think this is the best rubber to enter the sticky world because it feels very easy to play. So it is in reality somewhere in between classical tensor rubbers, or you may call it the rubbers with speed glue effect, and sticky rubber. So for those who would like to try but not to have too much stickiness, this would be very good rubber to play with. But at the same time, due to stickiness is not that big or not that strong, it is losing to Hurricane in terms of spin. Hurricane 3 Neo is absolutely winner in terms of spin. It is very, very spinny rubber. It's important for me. When I return the first ball with the chop, you can't compare to other rubbers. I don't know how Double Happiness Company achieves this result, but it is like created for spin in all different situations. And at the same time, it is not that springy to block. Some people think that it's very difficult to block with Hurricane 3 Neo, but it is not so. Because it is quite slow when you block.
I play with Hurricane 3 on my forehand, and it was very interesting to compare it to other rubbers. The closest to Hurricane is Rakza, and I liked it. It was not too fast, and also I feel that it really is sticky. Next comes Bluegrip. For me it's just ordinary rubber, not sticky and not too fast. Dignics is sticky, but it's so fast, so there is no difference, sticky it is or not. In the end, Hurricane still is the best.
So we have done our testing. It was very interesting. I had a lot of fun. Some results were unexpected. For me it was very interesting experience, and I hope also for you.
I enjoyed playing sticky rubbers, and it was quite a long training session because it was 4 rubbers, and I encourage everyone to try a sticky rubber if you have not done so yet.
If you have done, you have a review of 4 popular rubbers, so maybe your next rubber you choose another one. We hope we have helped to make your right choice. We are waiting for your comments. If you like what we do, if you don't, and what could be improved, what else would you like to see, and hope to see you soon on our YouTube channel.
Looking forward to see you again.